is there just a little bit extra excitement this preparing for a team like this?
There's a lot of history behind it, but coach, he stressed to treat every game the same. Goal is to come in and win, compete, take every possession by possession, and try to win every possession. So,
When you did the team kind of grew up following, obviously they've got a long history, and Coach K is one of the best. I mean, did you grow up kind of keeping an eye on that program?
to tell you the truth, no, not really. Growing up, I just watched college basketball. I didn't really have a favorite team. It's not really till I got into high school I really took on a favorite team, and that happened to be UNLV. So.
What's the mindset heading into the matchup this weekend?
Win.
What's the mindset? What's the team's mindset?
To go in and compete, and win. It's competitive basketball. Our mindset is to go in, capitalize on defense, capitalize on their mistakes, and make sure that we capitalize on the looks that we get. When we get good looks on good opportunities to score the ball.
This is a game that a lot of guys are thinking about because this is Duke, and they're coming in. This is your first game with T-Mobile. I mean, there's a lot of factors here that make this historic, even to a team that takes every game one at a time.
It's a lot that goes on behind it, but the main focus in the locker room is to treat it like a regular game. Focus on the task at hand and not everything else that makes it so much bigger than what it is.
Do you hear anything from the outside? People maybe saying like, "Hey, beat Duke" or anything like that, leading up to it?
I don't really pay too much attention to it. We as a team, we pretty much focused on what goes on in between the lines.
Is there anything special about the game for you personally?
We ain't played him in 25 years, so it's special. It's a good matchup, and it's a lot behind it. It means a lot to the fans, mean a lot to the community, so it trickled down to mean a lot to us.
What do you know about the times that Duke played UNLV? I mean, has Coach taught you all? I mean, those were as classic as it gets the last 25 years.
I know the last time we matched up with them, they had got us the time before that we got them, so we trying to come out with a win this time.
What do you see from Duke when you put on the film or when Coach tells you about their team in terms of their offense, your defense? What do you see there?
They pressured and same thing that we try to do, So it's a matter of just us forcing that will on them and then not letting them force their will on us. So.
Is there a possibility the moment and the opponent could be too big, so the crowd different Duke? What do you think?
We not looking into all the other stuff, Like I said, it's a regular basketball game, and we focused on what's going on between the courts. We're not worried about the crowd, how many people there, where we playing at. As far as we concerned, we playing on a basketball court with 2 baskets.
What did you learn from watching the Arizona State video?
He said.
What did you learn from watching the Arizona State video?
We learned a lot. As a team, we discussed that as a team. We put a whole practice plan, game plan, for us to get better. So we learned a lot.
Did you see areas that
Definitely.
that you get very correctly?
Definitely, it was a lot of the mistakes in the game, in the Arizona State game, we caused ourselves. And a lot of the things, the way they shot the ball, it wasn't that we just didn't do things the right way. It wasn't that we didn't do things; it was just the way we did them. So.
Do you think there's an extra emphasis on defense since it's the number one offense in the country?
Yes, our emphasis is defense every game. Our emphasis isn't on the offensive end at all. So it's a heightened. We know our opponent, so we're gonna go in even more focused. So.
Isn't this a great opportunity for the program to show that, you guys are legit. You can't compete with anybody like people maybe haven't expected UNLV to.
Yes, definitely. I honestly don't think people thought that we would be 5-3 right now. So, like we said, we treating it like every other game. I know it's kind of repetitive for me to say that, but that's how we treating it. People wouldn't expect. I don't think people expect us to be 5-3. I don't think people expect us to win the many games we won early on. So we just going in, just treating it like every other game before.
Do you see yourself as a leader on this team, especially defensively, in terms of maybe communication or rallying the team? Like, what's your role like there?
I take pride in that. I know that defense win games, offense win games too, but defense win championships. So, I take pride in defense. It's a long time between tournament time, but the longer we nip defense in the bud and talking and communicating, the more that's going to show later on in the season.
Have you guys made any strides on that end of the court from the start of the season?
Definitely. Yeah, I see it myself from me sitting and watching, being hurt the first game of the season, then in the summer trip in Bahamas, to now and being on the court and seeing guys talk and communicate. I see the difference.
What's it around the program right now with a team like Duke coming to town?
Just the next game for us, trying to improve our record, get better each day. It's a big game for Vegas, the history behind it, but, we're just taking it a game at a time.
Other than victories, are there other ways in this game to measure success?
Just, compare the last game, how our effort is and, what we do offensively and defensively. Other than that, pretty much the win is kind of what guarantees it.
What did you take away from the last game, especially after you watched video?
It wasn't as bad defensively as I thought. Arizona State, they hit a lot of shots, It was just one of those nights, where they couldn't miss and they were, finding at the bottom of the net. But we can be better offensively. Defensively, we can take people out of their stuff more. And I think that's what we'll do, moving on in the future. Just get better defensively and offensively.
How are you feeling health-wise?
Health-wise, I'm a lot better compared to last week where, I had a fever. So, being healthy is pretty much it's pretty good for me. Say it again?
What do you think about when you're Duke?
What do you think about when you're Duke?
When you hear it, like, growing up?
You hear about the history, the great players that have come out in and out of there. Personally, one of my favorite players, Kyrie Irving, played at Duke. So, just, getting able the opportunity to play against a great coach like Coach K. And it's going to be a great atmosphere, great fan base from both sides and great players from each side of the team. So, just get up for Saturday, be ready for it.
I know you say it's not a game, but you can appreciate the national stage. This is at the T-Mobile Arena. First time UNLV's played there. First time you played Duke in 25 years.
Yeah. Individually, I feel like a lot of people are going to get up for it, It's the team that, growing up you watch all the time on TV, seen them winning countless, national championships. And, for you to be able to play against them, here in the big stage of Vegas, on the Strip, and being on ESPN, that's real big, for us. And, I take it. I'm really blessed, for the opportunity, so I'm enjoying it and waiting for it to come.
What do you personally know about the history of that game, being the national title games and the Final Four appearances? That was UNLV at its best. That's what the coach still recruits on that.
Yeah, definitely. That's UNLV is really known for. When we got the Running Rebel, that name, from the Larry Johnsons and all the great players that played in that. Really, it's big. It's real big, for Vegas, and especially, even before I even came here, when they were recruiting me, you heard about Duke versus UNLV, and it's just real big. There's a lot of hatred, towards each other. So, it's just like a rivalry game. So, it's very anticipated and waited on. This is a big date, since I've gotten here on campus, and so, I'm excited.
What's the defensive mindset playing the top offense in the country?
Defensively, defense has been a big issue this week, for us, getting ready. Guarding, dribble penetration, how they swing the ball. They're very unselfish. And so, defense has been a key point. Defense is what's going to carry us this year, to what we want, even in conference and after conference. So, this is a great, opportunity for us to play against one of the best offenses in the country and, really see where our defense is stacked.
Babies are not even born when this rivalry happened. How important or how special can it really be to you?
Even outside of the rivalry, between Duke and UNLV, it's still one of the top 5 teams in the country. So just having that, is big for us. But then when you add the tradition that goes along with it, we still feel it. The fans, the older fans that were around there, and, they tell us about it. And so, we want to win for them just as much, as they want to win. So we're going to give it our best shot, on Saturday.
What makes them so dangerous offensively? How do they score their points?
When I watched them recently, I think Tatum had came back, and I just like how unselfish they are. They just pass the ball around. It's kind of remind me of watching the Spurs. They really don't care who gets the credit. Luke Kennard went off. Anybody can go off. They got a lot of offensive weapons. The great rebounding team, great defensive team. Their team has been together. They got a lot of veterans. Coach K has done a great job. Getting them together and playing well. So. You can't really key in on one player, against Duke. It's kind of all like a collective effort for them. It really, any given night, anybody can go off. So, that's something we got to watch for.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.